Recording. And we're live.
All right. Who wants to go first?
So, question 1. In our opinion, after having taken this course, is comedy socially progressive or regressive? Who wants to go first?
All right, I'll go first. I think that you could definitely argue both ways, but I think it's progressive just because how it's bringing attention to the situation or like the social issues that we've been discussing in class. I think it's bringing it the attention it needs, not like, yes, it's making fun, but I think it's also bringing attention.
Right.
So that's what I think.
I think it's mostly progressive. I do think like it could go both ways. I think it really depends on how the, like in this case, the comedy like episodes and everything, and how the characters work with it, you know, and kind of like portray what they're trying to talk about and what the social issue is, because it can definitely go both ways. Like I think you also have to be like, I guess, grown enough to understand that it's not supposed to be taken like seriously, but also it is. Like it's kind of like you have to have a more developed mind than obviously like a 5-year-old would not understand what we understand. So I think it's really just depends on who's watching and how it comes across to them. But I do think that as long as you understand it, it's progressive because it helps you to see things that you wouldn't normally think about or just see it in a different way.
Yeah, I was gonna basically say the same thing because like it's progressive. But like if you're a kid, you'll think of it as a joke and not much more. And then, uh, um, like kids are prone to making fun of things because it's weird or off or whatnot.
Right.
But assuming you're in the right mindset and you actually understand what it is they're doing, then it comes across. The right point gets across. So,
I mean, all of you guys have made very valid points, but I'm going to argue that it is regressive because you have to have that mindset and the mentality and the understanding of satire and, oh, are they making fun or are they trying to bring some issue to light? And a lot of people do not have that. Like, my entire family watches The Office. My mom and I, like, we understand all of the social issues that are brought up, but like also, my mom's got her master's degree in English and she understands, how people use language and stuff like that. My 3 younger siblings just think it's the funniest crap they've ever seen. So then my brother, he hears stuff Michael Scott says and he loves to just repeat it because he thinks it's funny and that's all it is to them. So I'd argue that it's regressive because the general population, the masses that are watching these films, listening to these comedians, binging these shows, they don't have the capacity to realize exactly what they're trying to do. And therefore it's regressive because instead of bringing to light social issues, it's supplying them with new material.
And
fair
I
enough.
definitely see that.
Yeah, that's a good point too. You can kind of take it both ways, I think.
Fully agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, do we want to do question 2 now?
Yeah.
Everyone good with 1?
Sure. Could always go back to it on accident if we need to.
Yeah.
Oh, there is one more question at the bottom of question 1. It says, or can both things be going on at the same time? And if so, what is the potential impact of this?
I feel like we kind of answered that. Because, I mean, most of us said that, it can be progressive and regressive at the same time because, we might watch it and understand what it's talking about. And then my brother might watch it and not understand what it's talking about. So to us, it's progressive, but to him, it'd be regressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
I mean, the potential impact is basically same potential impact we've had for every other unit this entire time. People who get it are going to get it, and people who don't are going to continue it's funny, and they're going to continue to influence other people to just think it's funny, and then so some people will get the issue, some people won't.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Question 2.
Question 2 was essentially which topic out of the units was most impactful to you personally.
Yes. What do you guys think?
I can do this one first. Mine, I would say, is actually the ones that we didn't get to talk about, the unit, our last unit, about disabilities, because like my brother, he has a learning disability.
Me? Oh,
You cut out for a minute, yeah.
That's what I thought. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
yeah, there
Alright.
you go.
So my brother, he has a learning disability. So I just know all of the struggles that he has when it comes to stereotyping. And also what I want to do is be a speech pathologist and work with autistic kids. And like, I know how sometimes they're treated. So definitely last unit was definitely the most connection I had within my own life.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think probably I would say probably either the disability one or the gender one, because I don't have any personal um people in my life who have disabilities that I can relate to, but I help out with this. I like help teach with this dance group that's called My Time to Shine, and it's for people who have special needs. And so I can really see from them, like some of the stereotypes that they have to face. So that's been a little bit more recently, because I haven't done that for more than like 2 years. But it's kind of opened my eyes to like more things associated with disabilities. And then I'd probably just say gender, because I feel like there's so many stereotypes with gender, and like boys and girls, and just everything from the time that we were just kids, like growing up. I just feel like that's so ingrained in everyone's heads that like men can do certain things and women can do other things, and it's not like as equal as it should be. But I feel like that's more normalized than a lot of the other ones. But well, to me, I think. But also that we started learning that at such a young age, and it's just like been just going on ever since. So I think that one and then the disability one are the most impactful in my life.
I think for my life, it was probably the unit on comedy and sexuality. Like, I'm straight, I'm hetero, what is it, cisgender, heterosexual, whatever. Like, I'm straight, I'm a female. That's what I look like. That's what I am. But like, I grew up with very, very religious grandparents who raised some very different children, and my mom is the least like all of her siblings, so she's very progressive and be who you are and don't take any judgment and just be happy with yourself. But most of the rest of my family is no, if you do not fall into these norms, then you can't be in the family. I had a cousin who got basically shunned by the family and kicked out because he came out as gay.
Exiled.
What?
I was just saying, I think the word you're thinking of was exiled.
Yeah, I mean, he like they talked to him again, so it's all good.
Okay.
But yeah, and growing up, everybody's like, if you don't wait till marriage, then you're a horrible person and you're gonna go to hell. And if you have sexual thoughts, you're a horrible person and you're gonna go to hell. And I always struggled with that because I'm like, oh nope, that would make me a horrible person. That would make me go to hell. Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. And then anything that I wanted to do or ended up doing, like always, like kind of stayed with me. And then this unit, it wasn't anything that we watched in class, but there was this short film, a comedy on Netflix that if you guys get a chance, you should watch it. It was called Yes, God, Yes. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it when we were doing that unit group discussion. I wrote about it in my essay, but it was about this girl who was raised in a very religious setting, who was kind of like coming into her sexuality, and everybody was making her feel like horrible for it. And then she just met this random lady, and that lady was like, girl, that's normal. That's being human. And for me, that was kind of a little mini awakening, like, oh, maybe I'm not going to hell for these things. Maybe my family's wrong, you know? So that one really sat with me because it was something that like I personally have mentally struggled with.
Yeah, I think the disability one is most impactful to me, mostly just because that's something I've been around. I still never know whether to call some things disabilities or not, but it's like I want to say I've been around them for a while, because like when I was in like elementary school and intermediate school, because I have Tourette syndrome, I was kind of put in with the kids that were considered special ed. It wasn't all the time. I typically had normal classes, but sometimes they would put me there. It's just more of, it was impactful to me because I sympathize with these people. It's like something is either you lost something or some part of your body is weird for X reason, genetics or otherwise, and like I don't know, it just hit me the hardest because I feel bad for those kinds of people, because it's just unfortunate circumstance, but they can never get back to what is considered normal, quote unquote. But then again, normal is kind of boring. So yeah, that's all I got.
I had no idea you had Tourette's.
I do.
The first one.
Did I don't remember if I told him the first one, but maybe I did.
I think you told the first one.
I don't know.
Oh,
That was so long ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
On to question 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'll start with this one because I already kind of started to touch on it. This course has already changed how I watch comedies. You know, like watching The Office. Like the first time through watching it, I've watched the show over and over and over, but the first time through watching it, I was like, this is weird. I don't understand how my sister finds it funny. I'm going to keep watching and just wait for it to get funny. And then as I kept watching it and kept watching it, like eventually I caught on to the humor. But now that I've watched this class, like, you know, I understand it a lot better. Like they're not just jokes, they're life, and they're trying to, you know, show what people are doing wrong. And then when I stumbled upon the Yes, God, Yes movie and I watched it, dude, had I watched that a year ago, I would have been like, ooh, I'm turning this off. Like there's nothing like overtly sexual, but like I would have felt so awkward watching it. But then after having taken this class, I was able to watch it and understand that like what the movie was trying to say is that shaming people for that kind of stuff should not be done. And the movie is very satirical. It's not, you know, like people are laughing every 5 seconds and making jokes every other scene or every scene, whatever. But I feel like taking this class has helped me and will continue to aid me in understanding that when comedians are bringing up an issue, they're not bringing it up to make fun of it. They're bringing it up because they want people to find a way to connect and understand to it. Like I was watching a comedy with my friend like last week, and we're watching it and there were some things where I just couldn't stop myself from laughing, but at the same time the back of my head was like, man, that actually is a huge issue. Wow. And nobody else in the room did that, but nobody else has taken this class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with what you said. I think this class has really opened my eyes to so many different things that I never really thought about that much or really just noticed. Like, I think we kind of all knew about these issues before. We just didn't really think about it as much as we are now, and we didn't really like analyze all of it or really like take the time to go through these just normal comedy shows that people watch all the time and really like see what they're actually talking about and what they're trying to do with it. So I think it just like you said, I don't think I'm gonna really watch a comedy show the same after this, because I'm gonna be able to see more things that I hadn't before. And I think I've already gained a lot of knowledge from this class, and I think most people should take this class because it's so insightful and really just opens your eyes to so many different things. Like I think we were watching The Office one night with my family, and I already like explained like a couple different things that I know from this class that I hadn't really thought about before, and neither has my family. And you probably have too, Faith, by that face.
I try. They don't listen.
Yeah. So I think I think it's just really good to look more into these kinds of things and notice what's happening around us in the world, because so many things are changing, and I think people really just need to be more aware of everything happening. Yeah.
Well, I can definitely agree with both of you guys, but like you said, Claire, like I was watching something, I think it was The Office, and I was watching it with my sister, and I was like, do you know what they're actually saying? And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, and I explained it to her, and she's like, no, I never thought of it like that. So I just liked how this class, it gave us so much information about all of these social issues, but then made us learn it in an interesting way and kept us intrigued, or at least for me. So
Yeah. I'll be honest, when I saw I got automatically swapped to this class, I literally thought it was gonna be, we're gonna be watching Netflix the whole time and just possibly having a meeting every Thursday or so. But now it's just like, okay, this class actually goes deep. Because it was weird. It was like, it also reminded me of how much I had learned just by growing up. Because I remember there were times I watched a few episodes of The Office just because my mom had left the TV on with The Office going, and I found them hilarious. And now watching The Office, my brain is just like, this is actually what? My brain is both confused and slightly uncomfortable because I felt like I was getting the wrong point of view the whole time. And yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but in one of the first units, didn't they say that comedy should make you feel uncomfortable if they're really getting their point across correctly?
Yeah.
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 That's the
right,
point.
Kyle,
They
A for you.
Uncomfortable. They make you feel uncomfortable, so you realize, oh crap, I've been doing this wrong the whole time. I almost swore, and then that would have been a bad.
Yeah.
There's a second part to question 3. So, in what ways do we think this course might impact the way we view and interact with people who experience life in different ways? And what will we do with the insights we gain from this course moving forward? I guess I will start, unless you want to start, Claire.
Okay. Now you can start.
All right. Well, I mean, after having gone through this course, I've already tried, telling my family things like, oh, hey, that's actually talking about this issue, and that's actually like a big issue. And yeah, my family doesn't really get it. Like, my mom gets it. My mom definitely gets it, and we talk about this stuff all the time. Every time we've just got an episode of The Office going in the background, we're talking about the issues that it's presenting. My siblings are a little too young. My dad's a little too conservative to agree with half the stuff that I bring up. But when I was watching The Comedian with my friend last week, his name was Daniel Sloss. He's a very funny man, fairly inappropriate, likes to swear, but very funny. And he was bringing up like relevant issues about disability and mental trauma and that kind of stuff. And like as my friend and I were watching it, we were just talking, like, you know, we were listening to it and laughing at it, but we were also talking about like how controversial the things that he was saying were, and how that, or he himself was all the time like, if you're uncomfortable, that's because I'm talking to you. And I explained some of this kind of stuff to her. So I feel like for me, it's going to impact me by, I don't think I'm ever going to lose this point of view if I try. And I'm just going to keep trying to spread the word like, hey, you know, this isn't just supposed to be funny.
Yeah, I totally agree. I kind of think the same. Like, I think the point of this class is really to spread more awareness to other people who might need it or might need a little awakening to the new like society that we're in. And yeah, I think it's gonna just impact us and interactions with people, because we now have this new just so much more knowledge that we had before this class that we can share, and just, you know, have deeper discussions moving forward about the social issues that most people don't really think too much about. So yeah, I think it'll just impact us by spreading more awareness to other people and trying to not let this knowledge stop here and just keep going to others.
Well, and I think on top of that, like, I think you guys summed it up perfectly. But on top of it, I think this class also showed us that it's okay to have different beliefs. Like, I think at least one or two of the units. Oh, it says my internet.
Yep.
Okay. So, like, at least one or two of the units, like, I'm sure someone had a different of opinion on something or took something a different way. So I think with this class, it also just will also impact the way we go about having different of opinions.
Yeah. In terms of just how I treat other people, I'm just gonna do what I normally do, probably. Like, as in, basically just treat others with the same kindness and sympathy that I would treat anyone else with. So, but also, like, considering now, I'm probably gonna, like, think a little bit more from their point of view, because that's something from their side of things. But other than that, everything I could say has kind of already been said. So
Kind of what was it? Pass it forward, pay it forward, something like that. Like, just show everybody kindness.
yeah. Yep.
Instead of that, the new rule of thumb should be treat everybody like they're Claire, Faith, Reagan, and Kyle, because we actually get along.
Yes.
We are a good group.
Yeah.
All right. Are we done?
We've addressed all the
Yes, sir.
questions.
Yep.
Alrighty. And we'll stop the recording.